Despite feeling hesitant, I couldn't resist buying it. After bringing it home, I placed it on the table in my bedroom. That night, as everyone was asleep, I heard a soft crying sound.
Hey guys, how's it going? Who here loves a good horror story? Are you ready to feel some serious chills? In today's video, we're diving into the creepy world of labubu dolls. From tragic tales to heart-pounding moments, we'll meet characters from different countries trapped in these terrifying adventures. From the sweltering heat of the Philippines to the chilly nights in New York, we'll explore experiences that will give you goosebumps and make you wonder, what's really going on with these dolls? So grab your popcorn, turn off the lights, and get ready to be swept away into a world full of mystery and darkness. Let's dive in.
I am Sophia, a 16-year-old teenager living in Manila, Philippines. Since I was a child, I have always been fascinated by antiques, especially dolls. One day, while strolling through a crowded flea market, I saw a beautiful labubu doll made of brightly colored fabric and adorned with intricate embroidery. However, the seller, an old man with sharp eyes, warned me, "Be careful, miss. This doll has a dark history." Despite feeling hesitant, I couldn't resist buying it. After bringing it home, I placed it on the table in my bedroom. That night, as everyone was asleep, I heard a soft crying sound. At first, I thought it was just my imagination, but the sound became clearer. Every night, the sound grew louder, as if calling to me. I began to feel obsessed with the doll. I researched more about it and discovered that the doll once belonged to a girl named Maria who went missing in the forest near my village. The more I dug, the more strange occurrences happened in my house. Objects fell without reason, and I felt watched. One night, I woke up and saw the doll standing beside my bed, staring at me with empty eyes. I felt scared, but my curiosity overcame my fear. I decided to go to the forest where Maria had disappeared. There, I found traces indicating that Maria had once been there. I felt a strong presence and heard that crying sound again. In my search, I met an old woman who claimed to know Maria. She told me that the doll was a way for Maria's spirit to seek justice. She wanted me to help find her body so she could rest in peace. With the old woman's help, I tracked the last location where Maria was seen. When I found her, I was shocked. Her body lay beneath the roots of a large tree, forgotten. After reporting the discovery, Maria's spirit finally found peace, and the haunting crying sound disappeared. However, I would never forget that experience, and the labubu doll would always remind me of the tragic story that occurred in my village. My name is Emily, and I am a 17-year-old teenager from New York. Since I was a child, I have always collected dolls. I spent hours in antique shops hunting for unique items. One day, I found an old labubu doll that looked very different from the others. With a beautiful face and a worn-out dress, I felt as if the doll was calling to me. However, when I paid, the seller glanced at me with a worried look. "Be careful, girl. This doll is not what you think." After bringing it home, I kept it on my shelf. However, shortly after that, I began to feel a strange presence. Every time I left the room, I found the doll in a different place. One night, when I woke up to the sound of whispering, I heard a soft voice calling my name. "Emily, help me." The voice was so real it frightened me. I started to learn more about the doll. I discovered that it once belonged to a woman named Margaret who lived in sorrow after losing her child. Over time, I realized that Margaret's spirit was trapped in the doll, seeking my help to find peace. I felt trapped in a dangerous game. Every night, nightmares haunted me, and I saw the figure of an angry old woman, as if she wanted something from me. In my quest to help Margaret, I met a paranormal expert who helped me understand what was happening. She said that I needed to find a way to free Margaret's soul so she could rest. With the help of the paranormal expert, I held a ritual where I read a letter to Margaret, expressing empathy and regret. As I did so, I felt a strong presence, and the doll began to vibrate. Suddenly, I felt a strong wind hitting my face, and the voice disappeared. After the ritual, the doll seemed calmer, and I felt a heavy burden lifted from my heart. Although I lost the doll, I felt proud to have helped Margaret find peace. I am Jesu, an 18-year-old teenager who just experienced heartbreak. After breaking up with my boyfriend, I felt empty and lonely. One day, I went to a toy store and saw a cute labubu doll. The doll looked so adorable and cheerful, as if it could cheer me up. Without thinking twice, I bought it. However, after a few days, the doll began to exhibit strange behavior. Every night, I woke up hearing the doll softly calling my name. Jesu, don't forget me. The voice resembled my ex-boyfriend's voice, and I felt trapped in a maze of memories. I started to feel that the doll wanted to remind me of the relationship that had passed. I felt torn between wanting to forget my ex and the lingering longing that haunted me. One night, I woke up to see the doll standing at the edge of my bed, gazing at me with a loving look. I felt pressured, as if the doll was trying to control my thoughts. Finally, I decided to investigate the origin of the doll. In my search, I discovered that the doll was tied to a forbidden love that ended in tragedy. It turned out that a girl who resembled me once fell in love with a man she was not allowed to be with. They both suffered a terrible fate, and the girl's spirit became trapped in the doll, seeking the lost love. I felt compelled to help that spirit. With the help of a friend, I performed a ritual to free the girl's soul. As I did so, I felt a powerful energy surrounding me. The doll trembled, and the girl's voice faded away. I felt relief, but also sadness. Although I had helped the trapped soul, I had to face the reality that I also needed to let go of the memories of my ex. My name is Haruka, a 17-year-old girl from Osaka. A few weeks ago, my grandmother gave me a beautiful labubu doll as a birthday gift. The doll looked so elegant with a pastel dress and a lovely face, but since I brought it home, nightmares began to haunt me. Every night, I dreamed of an angry old woman warning me to let go of the doll. At first, I ignored it, but the dreams became more frequent and terrifying. In those dreams, I saw the woman standing in the corner of the room, staring at me with eyes full of anger. I felt trapped in a game of darkness, and strange occurrences began to happen around me. Objects in my house fell without reason, and strange sounds echoed at night. One night, as I woke up, I saw the shadow of the old woman standing by the window. I tried to scream, but my voice froze. In fear, I decided to learn more about the doll. I discovered that the doll once belonged to an old woman named Yuki, who lived alone and filled with sorrow. After her death, the doll became a means for her spirit to seek revenge on the younger generation who disrespected tradition. I felt trapped in a curse and realized that I needed to help Yuki's spirit find peace. With the help of a friend, I performed a ritual involving reading prayers and channeling positive energy. As I did so, I felt a strong presence around me. The shadow of the old woman began to fade, and her angry voice became silent. After the ritual was complete, I felt relieved. The doll seemed calmer, and the nightmares that haunted me finally stopped. However, the experience taught me to appreciate tradition and history, as well as to understand that every object has a story and a soul waiting to be revealed. My name is Nida, a 16-year-old teenager living in Bangkok. While visiting a night market, I found a unique and intriguing labubu doll. The seller, an old woman, warned me about the curse that accompanied the doll, but my curiosity overcame my fear. I bought it, thinking it was just a legend. After bringing it home, my life became filled with strange occurrences. Strange sounds echoed at night, and I began to see shadows moving in the corners of my eyes. The doll seemed to have the power to change the mood of those around me. My friends, who were cheerful at first, began to feel uneasy and uncomfortable when near the doll. I felt trapped in an invisible curse. Seeking answers, I consulted a local shaman known in my village. He told me that the doll was tied to the spirit of a young girl who had faced a tragic fate. Her spirit was trapped in the doll, seeking justice and recognition. With the shaman's help, I performed a ritual to free the girl's soul. We prepared food and flowers as an offering, and I read prayers sincerely. As we did so, I felt a strong wind hitting my face, and the doll trembled as if responding. Suddenly, I heard the girl's voice whispering, "Thank you."
Thank you.
After the ritual was complete, I felt relieved, but also sad. Although I had helped the spirit find peace, I had to let go of the doll that had become part of my life. The experience taught me to appreciate every creature and story in this world, as well as the importance of understanding the history and traditions that accompany them.